Yo, what is up guys? Ethan here, back on another video, and today we're back-to-back days, round of 32, day 2 recap, and today was another phenomenal day. I'm not sure if it's better or worse than day 1, but man oh man, the round of 32 this year has been absolutely amazing. Overall, this tournament's been absolutely amazing, with a few big-time wins. Today, let's hop straight into it. Let's start off with Kansas State defeating Kentucky 75-69, and this game was just a back and forth thriller. And the crazy thing is, Kentucky almost doubled the rebounds that Kansas State had, yet Kansas State still won this game. But the main thing was Kansas State defensively. They seemed like a lot better defensively. They had more steals, they had more blocks. But the stars came out today. Oscar Tshiebwe had 25 points and 18 rebounds. What an absolute monster game from him. And Markquis Nowell almost had a double-double. 27 points and 9 assists. He is on the thumbnail for a reason. 3 steals as well, man. What a fantastic game for Nowell. And then you have guys like Keontae Johnson, Naquan Tomlin, Desi Sills, all coming out clutch in this game. Tomlin had 4 blocks and 2 steals. I'm pretty sure they were mainly on Tshiebwe as well. And the thing about Kentucky, they were just not able to shoot. And Antonio Reeves was awful today. He hit 1 shot today. He had 15 total attempts. He was 1 from 10 from 3-point range. I don't know why he played 30 minutes. And I don't know why he just kept on shooting the ball. He kept on missing. And Cason Wallace, he had a great game as well. He basically didn't miss a shot. He had 21 points, 9 rebounds. He's going to be a future star in the NBA. But Kentucky, they played good today. And they obviously destroyed the boards today. But Markquis Nowell, man, this Kansas State team was just great today. And to be 100% honest with you, if it wasn't for that late run for Kansas State, Kentucky could have easily won this game. This game was a lot closer than 6 points, but great win for Kansas State as they will go on to the Sweet 16 to face Michigan State. And let's hop to that game real quick. Michigan State defeated the number 2 seed in the East, Marquette, 69-60. That means the top 2 seeds in the East don't even make it out of the first round or the first weekend. Marquette lost today, and of course Purdue lost last game. But Tyson Walker was an absolute monster today. Another reason why another player's on the thumbnail, man. Tyson Walker had 23 points, and he was lights out today shooting the ball. For Marquette, they were good. And the crazy thing is, Michigan State only hit 2 3-pointers this entire game. They were only 12%. But Marquette, they had 38% shooting, which was good. Michigan State just shot the ball a little bit better, 44%. Rebounds were the same. Assists were the same. Just Michigan State was also better defensively. They had the steals, 9 steals for MSU, 3 from Marquette, and 3 blocks, and 2 from Sissoko, my bad. 2 from Sissoko in the last minute, which was absolutely huge. One could have been debated for goaltending, but on that second block on Kolek was a beautiful block. And talking about Kolek, I'm surprised he did not shoot as much as I thought he would today. His only 2 points were all 3-pointers, and he only made 1 free throw. I thought he would be a lot more involved. Prosper ended up being the main guy offensively today, alongside with Cam Jones. But Kolek, your Big East Player of the Year, he has to get more involved in that. But Marquette, you had a phenomenal year under Shaka Smart, but this is also another typical Shaka Smart L in March Madness. And Izzo, March is his month. Great win for Michigan State, so that Michigan-Kansas State game is going to be a thrilling game to watch. Next up, FAU defeats FDU 78-70, and these were just 2 Cinderella teams seeing which one was better, but the 16 seed ended up losing. But this game was absolutely phenomenal. They basically had the same shooting percentage. FAU was 29 for 71, FDU was 27 for 71. Both had the exact 3-point Attempts and makes, both 29%. Rebounds were similar. Assists were similar. The big thing was FAU mainly got more turnovers. John L. Davis was a huge part. He almost had 30 in this game. 29 and 12 for him, shooting 10 for 16. What a great game for him. And this FAU team is just overall deep. They usually have a 7, 8, 9, potentially even a 10-man rotation in some games. So FAU, they're going to grind it out because they have the depth to compete with any team. But FAU did have some dogs. It just wasn't enough. And personally, FAU, with the amount of depth they have, they could make that Tennessee game competitive. Just a great win for FAU. And congrats for them going to their first ever Sweet 16. Next up, Miami throttles Indiana 85-69. And the main thing for Miami in this game, they just shot it better and they got more rebounds. They killed the offensive board. They got 20 offensive rebounds today. And even though Trayce Jackson-Davis had a crazy good game, he had 23 points and 5 blocks. It just wasn't enough at the end of the day. Isaiah Wong had one of his best games all year. 27 points, 8 rebounds. Norchad Omier, he had 17 boards. Poplar was really good. Jordan Miller was good. Nigel Pack was good, man. Like, this Miami team is going to be dangerous versus Houston. That's going to be a crazy good game. And I've been watching Miami. Like, they have a lot of group huddles. Their team chemistry is really, really underrated. I really like this Miami team, but also at the same time, I like Houston. So that game's going to be a real battle. Indiana, though, you need to get some shooters on your team, man. It was awful today. And that's been the main thing all season long. They need shooters. And this is just a two-man team, really. Trayce Jackson-Davis and Jalen Hood-Schifino. That's really the only two players you run your offense through. Sometimes Race Thompson, but you need to get this offense more spread out if you're the Hoosiers, man. But Miami, congrats. You're going to go to the Sweet 16 once again like you did last year. And the Houston is going to be a very interesting game for y'all. Gonzaga defeats TCU, and it's another good one for Gonzaga. They had an easy win versus Grand Canyon last week, the rip-off version, TCU jersey and logo-wise. And then you defeat TCU again, and this is just another disappointing loss for TCU. They were so close to defeat Arizona last year, and now you beat, well, no, you didn't beat, you lost to Gonzaga in the second round. Mike Miles went off, and personally, if Eddie Lampkin played and he didn't have all this transfer portal drama and didn't leave the team, this TCU team could have seriously made a run. But they couldn't stop Drew Timme today, man. Drew Timme had a great game. He had 28 points. Bolton had a good game. Strother had an alright game. He didn't shoot well, but overall, Gonzaga is going to go to the Sweet 16. They will be facing UCLA. Both teams shot the same. It's just that Gonzaga got to the free throw line more, and they made their shots more. They got a little bit more few rebounds, but overall, this was a very even game throughout. It was just Gonzaga hit the shots in the most crucial times, and they found the way to win. And that's what Mark Few does. He finds ways to win. Maybe not in the big games like we saw versus Arkansas last year, but in a game like this is the type of game Mark Few can definitely take over, especially with a guy like Drew Timme offensively. Like I said, he had a massive game. Gonzaga UCLA Final Four rematch from a few years ago is going to be a fantastic matchup. UConn defeated St. Mary's 70-55, and this game was very competitive throughout the first half as UConn only went into halftime winning by 1. St. Mary's and UConn were just going back and forth. But once that second half started, it was doomed for St. Mary's. And this was exactly how UConn was last game versus Iona. Iona and UConn kept it close, and then Sonogo just went absolutely off in the second half. And that's basically what happened again today. Sonogo went off again. Jordan Hawkins just caught fire in the second half, having all of his points in the second half. All of his points were also three-pointers on top of that. So this UConn team is like dangerous in the second half. And St. Mary's on top of that couldn't make a shot to save their lives. They were only made like one field goal in like a 6-7 minute span. And for a team like St. Mary's that has to get shots up because they mainly focus defensively, that's just not good, and that's how you lose games. So UConn, massive win, and UConn versus Arkansas next round is going to be electric. So many good athletes, really good coaches in Hurley and Musselman. And it's going to be in Vegas. Oh man, UConn Arkansas is going to be an amazing game to watch. So, good, like St. Mary's, you had a good run. I thought Aiden Mahoney would have been played better. He didn't really shoot the ball well. UConn, shooting was their main thing. Over 50% overall with field goals, 45% from three. St. Mary's could not play really good defense, and then on top of that, they shot awfully. Well, in the second half at least, they shot awfully. So UConn, amazing win, and that UConn-Arkansas game is going to be good. Creighton defeats Baylor 85-76, but this game was a lot more lopsided than that final score initiates. Baylor just didn't shoot the three well today, 22%, my bad. But Creighton just shot lights out, 47% for field goals, 45% from three. They did not miss a single free throw. That's insane. Ryan Nembhard went off. He easily could have been on the thumbnail. He just didn't have enough room. But he had 30 points today. He was just shooting fantastic. 8 for 13 from field goal. 10 from 10 from the free throw line. He was just balling. And Kalkbrenner, he had 30 last game. He calmed it down with 10. But overall, this Creighton starting lineup is something dangerous. And they're going to give Princeton a real tough test if they want to continue their legacy. LJ Cryer had 30 points for Baylor, but overall, Keontae George did not play well at all. Adam Flagler could have hit a three-pointer to save his life. So, like, something was off about Baylor all season long, and it was kind of obvious they weren't going to make a deep run. And to be honest, if they somehow did beat Creighton, I personally think Princeton would have been beating them just on how Baylor has played this season. It was not the best season for Baylor. It wasn't. But Creighton, they have the starting lineup, they have the talent, and they also have a very good head coach in Coach McDermott, man. This Creighton team could definitely beat Princeton next round, and they could potentially beat Alabama to make their first ever Final Four. Xavier beat Pitt 84-73, and this was just, it was rough for Pitt, man. 38% shooting. They just really couldn't hit a three. Like, they both destroyed the boards today, but Xavier just kept on making plays offensively, man. Pitt, in my opinion, the players were a little selfish in this game, just based on my evaluation. Like, they just kept on taking shots from themselves. They kept on calling for screens, pick and rolls, and then they shot it. It wasn't really a team game, but for Xavier, that was the case. A lot of players were getting points. A lot of players were getting assists and rebounds. And Xavier, yes, defensively, they're not very that good. We know that Xavier's not really good defensively. But it's a good win for Xavier. Pitt was just not as good as they were versus Mississippi State and Iowa State. Xavier will play Texas next round. That's going to be a tough matchup for Xavier. But if Xavier gets red hot, they were 47% shooting today. If they can maintain that percentage shooting today, and next week versus Texas, they could 100% pull off an upset. But just a good win for Xavier. You got to look ahead for that Texas game because that's going to be a tough match. Pitt, it was a good year, but it was very up and down and inconsistent. And this game perfectly showcased what Pitt's season was overall like. And that is it for this video. A fantastic round of 32. As we know, every single Sweet 16 matchup, games are going to be in Vegas, New York, Kansas City, and Louisville. I can't wait for it. I will have daily recaps just like this video when those games happen. It's going to be 4 games a day, so it's going to be a lot easier for me. Depending if I have time, I might even make graphics for each game. Now, I promise so, not a guarantee. But like, share, subscribe, y'all. I'm trying to grow this channel. This is also for college football content. If you like college football, make sure you subscribe. And like always, y'all, have a good day. Peace out.